Hey everyone, it's Abby and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be catching up on my media journal. If you haven't seen my media journal yet, make sure to check out previous videos on it. Link in the description, but here is a little look at it so far. It's half of the year, it's mid-year, and I've actually filled up more than half, or at least like half of the pages here because obviously I have been in my TV series, books and music rabbit hole for quite a while, and I've really been enjoying my time discovering new films and rewatching old ones. So we're gonna do a lot of updates in today's journal with me session, media journal with me session, because I realized that I have had a lot of shows that I just stuck in the posters but I never really updated them. So I'm going to be doing that today. As you can see, I have probably watched more films and TV shows than read books, and I really want to change that now that we are halfway through the year. And actually it's also because I've gotten more into reading self-help and non-fiction books, and I really want to dive back to fiction. I feel like those two things are always changing for me. Like, I'm in the mood for fiction, I'm not in the mood for fiction, I want to do some self-improvement kind of situation. So let's get to journaling. So we are in a big orange mood here because on the left side I actually rewatched Juno and I updated that recently, and on the right side this is one of the books, non-fiction books that I've read this year. It's called Chatter and it's by Ethan Kross. It was a book that was given to me by Joanna, who's one of my close friends, and I really devoured. Is that the right word? Doesn't sound right, but I really read through the entire book, and I was reading it at lunchtime, and I think that's such a big deal for me because I don't do that. This book really focuses on how to harness the inner voice we have in our head. We can be the hardest people on ourselves. We're like our worst critics, right? And this book allows you to sort of reflect on those things. I'm still working on that with my inner voice, but it has definitely given me some insight on how to better manage it and at the same time allow myself to be kinder to myself. So with regards to that, I'm also using, let me see if I can remember, I'm using Kaweco Student and Extra Fine. It's in the lovely orange color. It actually reminds me of a creamsicle. It was given to me by Ellen. She had a spare one and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, I really love this color. And the ink I'm using is also from her. It's a Diamine Pumpkin. It's a nice, I would say like crimsony orange, not so much on the yellow orange side, but I really liked it. So this is the book. It has a very bright orange color as well for the cover, so I decided to use that for the overall theme of this page. Also, as you can see, I flipped through this page called The Tools. So at the back of the book there are some like handy advice, or like there's a summary of tips and advice from the book. So I decided to copy some of them and incorporate them on my page, on my media journal page, because I had a spare page at the back. I feel like for book reviews at least I need 2 to 3 pages depending on what I have to take note of and what I have to write out. I mean, this media journal is not specifically for like keeping advice or like for something I go back into, but at the end of the year I feel like I want to go back to this journal and just see all the important notes I took, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just simply decorating some parts. Of course, I want to have some embellishments and also still retaining the warm colored theme. So I'm using a LAMY Safari in cream. This is the new 2022 edition in extra fine as well, and the ink that you see here is actually Rohrer and Klingner Helianthus, which is sunflower. It's a nice yellow orange color. It's not very yellow, but I like it because it is readable, and that's really important to me, especially with fountain pens. I've always struggled to find a nice readable yellow ink. I think it's a tricky color when it comes to inks, because if it's too light, then you can't read it, and if it's too dark, it might be too thick. But anyway, I really like this, and I wrote down some of the tips and notes from the book that hopefully future Abby will find useful and find valuable in the years to come. I highly recommend this book. Apart from Chatter, I also read this book called Unwinding Anxiety by Judson Brewer that Sarah lent me, and those two books I read back to back, so I was deep into my like science book situation because I felt like I needed to understand my brain more. And it was also at this time that I was struggling with like mental health, and not to say that this has helped me with my mental health, like eradicate it completely, of course not, but for me it's really valuable to understand how my brain works, and so from that I'll be able to figure out how to be better with it and managing my mental health. So there. The next one we have is, oh my gosh, this is so, I love this so much. It's Heartstopper. So we're going to use Uni-ball One pens for this because I don't have fountain pens that are loaded with blue and green inks. Or did I? I think I do, but this Uni-ball One in the retro color one, I got it from Stationery Pal. I really like it because it might be my new favorite apart from Sarasa. Like, I love Sarasa Vintage for the colors, but this one is 0.38, so it's thinner because the Sarasa is always in 0.5, at least for the vintage set. So anyway, I was lurking on Netflix like at early June, and I was like, I don't know what to watch. And then I saw Heartstopper, and a lot of people have been recommending me to watch it, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. These floral PET tapes are from Kaweco Studio. I'll link it down below. I really love the watercolor quality to them, so I decided to add it here. And since Heartstopper's poster is very like doodly and cutesy and has like blue tones, I decided to max out on like blues and greens and all this like very dreamy kind of color scheme, I would say. Oh yeah, I have a pen that was inked with Sailor 143. So this is a nice, I would say like cornflower / periwinkle blue. And basically the premise of Heartstopper is, I forgot the guy's name, but it's an LGBTQ plus story, and it's super cute. I think apart from the storyline, I love anything that involves teenagers for some reason. Maybe because I'm an adult now, I feel like watching teenage shows, like I love Sex Education, I love Never Have I Ever, like these kinds of shows, they really bring me to a time and place, and it's nice to like say like, oh my gosh, I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna relive my teenage life vicariously through these shows. And I think I binge watched Heartstopper in a day. Yeah. But anyway, the whole vibe was really nice, and I love the soundtrack, and I like that it's a really cute coming of age love story. Love the soundtrack. Did I say that already? There's this song called Dover Beach. It's really good. And I like that it came from a graphic novel, if I'm not mistaken. And some of the elements of the graphic novel were incorporated in Heartstopper. Even the little doodles, I love that. Like, as an artist, seeing little elements like that incorporated into the TV show itself is like great. I love that. I heard there's going to be a season 2. Also, I found out that the Kaweco Perkeo was used in one of the scenes. How did I miss that? I know it was the green colored one because I saw it in Job's video, but I missed that. I don't remember. I googled it after because I think someone recommended me to watch Heartstopper because of my fountain pen collection, and most of my fountain pens are in like this green brown colorway. But yeah, your girl forgot about it. It really slipped my mind, but I was so engrossed in the story, and I kept watching and like going to like the next episode. So that's it for me and my Heartstopper ramblings. Next one, I really recommend this. This would probably be one of my favorite films of all time. It's entitled The Worst Person in the World. By the way, I already set up all my posters and like printed and like literally stuck everything in, because all I needed to do was write my review, which sometimes takes a while because, you know, I have to gather my notes. I have to figure out whether or not I have time to actually like sit down and like think about all of the things that happened in the film. So I am actually very prepared for this one because I really love the film and I have so much thoughts about it. So I also wrote some quotable quotes from the film. So the pens I'm using are Pelikan M400 and my pilot Kakuno, because the Pelikan is inked with the Kobe Shinkaichi Gold and the Kakuno is inked with the pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi. How do I memorize all of these? I don't know. I just love my pens and inks. So I have this really long review there. I'm gonna dictate some of that to you. But this film, I first discovered it through the Oscars. It was nominated, and it was, I think, the main character, the actress, won a Cannes Best Actress Award. But one of my friends really was like, oh my gosh, Abby, you have to watch it in theaters, come on, do it. So I did it. And first of all, this film is divided into 12 chapters, kind of like a book. By the way, side note, do you see what is happening here? I'm performing some sort of surgery. I had a typo, so I rearranged the washi tape. This is called hacks, guys. And I added a border instead so that it could be covered. Actually liked how it ended up because I think I put in a woman sticker, a girl sticker walking, and a lot of the film involves the main character walking and running. I really like this scene. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there was a scene there that she was just running around the city, and it's set in Oslo in Norway, and I really love that. And I mean, the poster is literally her running. The main character's name is Julie. So basically it's a very slice of life / coming of age, but towards turning 30, that kind of realm. And I told you it's divided into 12 chapters. It's kind of like a book, and I like how it's divided that way. I don't think all films are fit to be divided that way, but this film really works like a charm in that department. And everything was so mundane. It was very interesting to see the little bits of changes, and the whole premise is actually Julie not feeling like she is so in tune with her own life, and that's so, I don't know, it's kind of a relatable thing for me. And also this generation gap, not gonna get into details, but the generation gap and the different wants and needs of every generation. So Julie is representative of the millennial generation, and in the film you will encounter characters who are a bit older, in their 40s, and you see how their priorities change because of their generational, I don't know, requirements or something. It was also interesting to see all the different changes that she went through. Very subtle, like with her hairstyle, her apartments, and also the careers that she chose. I am just lettering the Norwegian title. I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, but that's the Norwegian title, and I really like all the V's, letter V's. But generally, this was one of the films that really left a mark on me, and it made me cry a lot towards the end, because it was really representative of, I guess, real life and what you want to make out of your life. And that's a very important question to ask yourself, because how you spend your days is how you spend your life, right? And I find that really meaningful. Also, the soundtrack was really good. There was this song that was used at the trailer. It's by Harry Nilsson. Fun fact, he's a friend of the Beatles. So Harry Nilsson's song, I Said Goodbye to Me, was like the main reason that brought me into watching this film, which was funny, but also, yay, I'm so happy I did. Actually, after writing this opposite page, I even had more pages that I added afterwards. So I'll show that in a future video. But here is the final spread, and here are some of the finished ones that we did for this Media Journal with Me session. I do hope you enjoyed, and let me know what is the latest thing that you've watched or read or listened to, and I'd love to chat with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check out my other Media Journal videos by following the link in the description or at the end card. Bye!